or if a panelist really has a second question, we'll go for that, assuming we have time. This is not a forum to air personal grievances, and complex questions that require too lengthy an answer will be disqualified. So without any further ado, Assemblyman Paul Aizley, please give us a 90-second introduction.
Thank you, Bob. I'm Assemblyman Paul Aizley from District 41.
Get right up on the mic.
Right up close? Okay. And I'm running for my 4th term in the Nevada Assembly. So I was there in 2009. Originally, I'm from Boston. I've traveled over many states. I've lived in several states. I came here from Arizona when I was a graduate student at the Arizona State University. I majored in mathematics in all my 3 degrees. When I came to Nevada, I was applying to Nevada Southern University in 1968. When I arrived, it was University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where I taught mathematics for 40 years. And I also had other jobs. I was the assistant to the president on that for 4 years. I was dean of the College of Extended Studies, which included summer term and many other kinds of jobs where we put on programs to satisfy the community. One that I was particularly happy with is a learning and retirement program that we started with 60 people for those who are retired or semi-retired. And I understand now the program is ongoing and there's more than 1,000 people in the program. And people who seem to really enjoy it, which is satisfying. It's not always satisfying teaching mathematics to a bunch of kids. It doesn't seem to be everybody's favorite subject. That was 90 seconds?
That was the 90 seconds, right on the nose. I always like math class. For that's worth. All right. Our first panelist to pose a question to you, sir, is Tom Blanchard, who is a Navy veteran and president of Veterans Real Estate.
Good afternoon, Assembly Aizley. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. I'll pose the same question I had posed before regarding the margins tax. I want to know if you're for or against it, and if it was not to pass, there'll probably be some pressure on the legislature to find some other funding mechanisms that they think there is. Would you be willing to sponsor or be going for like a sales tax on services or some other funding mechanism?
There are many funding mechanisms being proposed. I'm not a great fan of the margins tax. I think what the margins tax really is a message that we do not have enough money to fund education the way we're supposed to do it. And you can look at all the data showing us to be the bottom of everything. Would I follow up with another tax? I'd have to see the tax. Would I go for a service tax? I want to see the services defined explicitly because it's a very complicated thing to say service tax. Mostly everybody agrees, no, we're not going to have to pay a tax on visiting the doctor. And then there's other ones that are just not so clear. So I wouldn't say no to a service tax, but I want to know the details.
Our second panelist to pose a question is Mike Angel, who's the founder of Nevada Legal Forums and Tax Services. Mike?
What is your philosophy of government? Do you think you've been elected 4 times to the legislature? Do you 3 times? This one probably 44. Do you believe that the system itself is slanted towards the political machine itself, where you could be part of the problem, or we do need a system or additional term limits that would limit that situation?
Well, Mike, you mentioned term limits, so I'll say first off, they're horrible. And you just look at the operation of the Assembly and the Senate right now, with people shifting around. Part of the problem is that the term limits have gotten rid of the know-how, which I think is positive, not negative, the know-how I'm talking about. I don't have any great philosophy about government. For one thing, I had no interest in government for many years until I ran. I was a mathematician, where things are very cut and dry. They're true, they're false. That's not true in politics. It's not just a matter of logic to get things done. You have to be persuasive, you have to show that what you're doing is going to benefit the people, and I think we do that. I think our system is good, and I like our system. If you don't like us, you vote us out. If you do like us, you have us sign up again. Most of the assembly people that I'm closest with, and the senators that have been in the assembly, are there to serve you guys. That's why we're there. I'm retired from my job. I don't need this job to go on. My retirement is fine. I'm doing this. I listen to the people what they want, and I try to do that.
Our next panelist is Amber Guyman, who's a paralegal and a military spouse.
What is the biggest challenge to families with young children in your district, and what is your resolution to their challenge?
Our biggest challenge in Nevada is a lack of money for education. The family structure now is very different from the family structure I grew up under. Many of the kids have single parents, many have parents and step-parents, and the kids live in more than one place. These are all problems that you cannot expect the education system to solve. We're there to help the kids learn. I think what we can do is ensure that the teachers are good, and I do think we have a lot of good teachers. One of the things I hear all the time is, let's do students first. That's kind of insulting to the teachers. I say, let's do the teachers first. If you have good teachers with salary, ability, knowledge, they'll take care of the kids. And they do it.
Our next panelist is Melissa Broadway, a political consultant.
And by the way, Amber, I'm also a paralegal.
Hi, good afternoon. My question, obviously you have quite a bit of experience recently with government in Nevada. What bills have you sponsored, co-sponsored, and what committees have you sat on in the past 3 terms?
The committees are easier because there are fewer of them. I've been on the Education Committee, I'm on the Interim Finance Committee. I'm right now chairing the Public Lands Committee, which is an interim committee. And I think that covers the committee. Mostly education, interim finance, which means ways and means, and education. Did I say that twice? Yeah. Well, Public Land is an interim committee.
And what bills have you sponsored or co-sponsored since you've been elected?
Well, as I said earlier, I try to respond to what the people want. So there was one bill, the first one comes to mind recently, is a bill that allowed retirees that are state employees that retire on Medicare. These people are being treated in a less beneficial way than people without Medicare, even if they had the same years of service and the same kind of years of service. So the bill said that if money is available, these people also can get an increase.
Is the microphone down there? No, we need to get the microphone down to the doctor. There we go. Our next question comes from Dr. Danielle Dupre, who's I'm supposed to skip one. I'm supposed to skip 2. Jay Joray is a Marine veteran and has a question.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
My question is a twofold question. Would you vote for a voter ID? And if you would or would not, would you consider a clause that it would be effective and even effective against judicial judgment? As far as the federal judge saying it's unconstitutional.
I'm not sure I fully understand your question. The voter ID, what specifically? I'm not going to say I will vote for anything unless you give me details.
When you go to vote, that you show your ID. Would you be for that or against that?
I don't see the need for it now in Nevada. We have a system that works. There's practically no voter fraud that I've heard about.
Thank you.
Okay, now Dr. Danielle Dupre, who's a holistic doctor.
Yeah, what do you like the most and the least about being in the legislature?
What I like most, of course, is helping people. What I like least is campaigning.
All right. Pardon me, we'll have a personal moment of silence. Michael Mazur, Nevada attorney, please pose the next question, sir.
Good afternoon, Assemblyman. Thank you for being here. Nevada receives about just shy of $9,000 per student for funding, is my understanding. $8,700 per student per year. What do you see as the amount that would be appropriate to fund it, and then what would that be used for?
I really think that this dollars per student is not a good measure of what we're doing. We have to build schools. The idea is that we're providing education in the K through 12 area. We have to build the schools, we have to pay the teachers. And this business of comparing the dollars per student, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense, though I appreciate it's a good way to compare one area to another. The problem is that in Utah, they use one way of counting what it costs, including building schools. And in Nevada, where we've had a lot of building of schools, that's going to skew the numbers. They don't work. I don't have a dollars per student number answer to your specific question. But I do know if you look at the national data, and this is what that number maybe is good for, is that it shows how we're doing compared to other schools. So if it's an apples to apples comparison, we're at the bottom, we need some more money.
Our next panelist is Dr. Jasmine Brooks. She's a medical doctor and a Las Vegas attorney.
And this is to piggyback off of what you just mentioned just now. Statistically, we are almost dead last in education nationwide. What is your committee? You mentioned that you were on the Committee of Education. What does the committee plan to do about improving our education for our kids?
I think that the committee is working hard to improve education all the time. This may sound a little bit sarcastic or irreverent, but everybody is an expert on how to run a school because we've all been to school. And I find that's not a very good way to do things. There are some experts that know how to run the school and we have to go with them. I think the Common Core is an improvement. It'll take time for Nevada to catch up. And I mentioned before, we need money to fund things. We have a reasonable class size. We've given money to English language learners, although there was only enough to do K through 3. We need more for the older students as well. I mean, everything you ask about education seems to hinge on we need to pay more than what we are paying. We need good teachers. Now, on the other side, I don't think our teachers are doing so bad as the press will tell you. For one thing, they count students incorrectly. If a kid goes from one high school to another high school, they count him as a loss. He might graduate from the other school. So I don't think we're getting good numbers. And as a mathematician, I question a lot of these numbers that I hear. I think our teachers are doing a good job.
Okay, our next panelist is Brian Deschamps, a Army veteran and the president of Fallen Not Forgotten.
How you doing? Thank you very much for coming. How do you feel about unemployment lasting 2 years long?
I wish it didn't last 2 years long, that's for sure. They're talking about the unemployment payment,
That's fine.
I'm in favor of what the federal government is trying to do now to extend the payment, the unemployment payment. I think it would help Nevada's economy if we would do that. So I am in favor of that.
Our next panelist is John Shute Jr., who is a Metro officer and he's not a VIP volunteer.
Just want to get your opinion on if they move to do full legalization of recreational marijuana, would you support that?
And briefly, yes, I would. We have people in jail now for use of marijuana. It costs $30,000 a year to keep them in jail. It's something that people do. They do willingly. There does not seem to be any victimization involved. So yes, I would support that. But I also want the federal government to do the right thing and get the backing. It's very disturbing for me to promote something that is federally illegal, even though it seems to be doing that.
Okay, we have a couple of, at least one audience question. If we can have members of the audience who'd like to ask a question, please proceed forward.
Yes, my name is Ed Yulin. It seems like all the time we're listening to the politicians and the political elite say, we need more money. They always need more money. yet the wages of the public sector are going up. The wages of the private sector are going down. It's totally unsustainable to continue to think we can increase, like since 2008, increase public salaries 20, 30%, and pensions, give public sector people pensions that are 3 times the size of private sector, and have that be sustainable. How can it be?
Looking for a question.
How can that be sustainable?
Okay.
And why do we always have to have that?
Well, I don't agree with your data to begin with. The public sector salaries are not going up and up. They've been cut drastically. Their cuts have not been restored. If you want to talk about teachers and professors, they've had to take furlough days, which is a cut in salary. The cuts are nowhere near being restored. As far as the pension goes, there's a contract between the state and the people. Money in PERS, the retirement system, is there. It's there because it was taken from employees. It is not public sector funds. These are the money that the workers in state workers have put away for their retirement. And PERS has never failed to make a payment. So all this talk about PERS being this terrible system in great trouble, I just don't go along with that. The retirement system, again, is working. It's working fine.
Karen Stillman, would you like to ask a question?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay, we'd like to thank Councilman Aizley for coming today. And thank you all very much to each.